Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about the 2012 Video Game Championship Series Winter Battle, which was a Wi-Fi tournament held by Nintendo obviously, and I'll follow it up with the 2013 International Challenge for January, which happened a few weeks ago, or concluded a few weeks ago. Now we've only just had the results in. Alright, first the 2012 Winter Battle. It only included Europe and the Americas, well, and Australia as well. And in that, I think there was just over 2,000 who got a ranking at the end. There's probably a good 3,000 maybe who actually competed. Because I know an awful lot of people who got disqualified through other people DCing. So then you've also got to account for the people DCing as well. So that's that total. First thing is I got 1,851 points, which placed me in 18th place, which was first in the UK, and I think it was 3rd or 5th in Europe, which netted me at the end 8 championship points, which might help if I do well at the VGC in the UK when it's announced, which should hopefully be in a few weeks, if not sooner. In that tournament I had 60 wins, 9 losses and 11 DCs, which put my DC rate at 13.7, so it's no surprise I did qualify and not get disqualified. Other than that, there's not really a lot that I can add, because I didn't really note down what I faced, who I faced, when I faced them. I just know that there were a few DCs and a few from some notable players who are on some respected forums, such as NidoRich, and obviously Smogan. Right, now I'm going to follow it up with a more in-depth description for the 2013 International Challenge, which happened in January, and the results came out yesterday, or a few days before, depending on when this video goes up. Right, for that I finished on 1782 points. I finished 130th in the world, which includes Japanese, Koreans, and the entirety of the world. Which I finished 4th in the UK behind Osiris Koyo. Koyo came first, Osiris came second. Then it was a player called Ewan, who I remember playing in the previous tournament, but I beat him, so he must have improved quite a bit to come 3rd in the UK. Obviously I came 4th in the UK, which should hopefully net me 4 championship points this time, if everything goes according to plan. Might be 8, might be 2, which I don't know until Nintendo assigns the points. And in this tournament I got 58 wins, 13 losses, and 16 DCs, which is more DCs than. It should have been 20, but apparently they've counted 1 loss and 3 wins to my account, which I'm not really going to disagree with. Now, percentage of different players that I played. Out of the whole, I think it was 87 or something matches I played, 21 Japanese, 17 with no location, 17 USA, 8 from the UK, 6 Spanish, 3 Mexicans, 2 Italians, 2 Australians, 2 Koreans, 2 Chileans, 1 Canadian, 1 German, 1 French, 1 Portuguese, 1 Polish, 1 Singaporean, or however they say it, and 1 Brazilian. Now, the percentage for the Japanese players I played it's staggering, because it's 24.1, which means I played 1 in every 4 matches, or 1 in every 5, approximately. I'm surprised I played so many British players in this tournament. But I played more from the US, and I'm guessing most of the people from probably. I've now played a few Japanese/Koreans who had no location, and I'm guessing that probably most of the rest is probably from the US, UK, and like that. Maybe a few Canadians, because I only faced 1 Canadian, which is surprising. I would have thought I'd played more than that. Now onto the Pokemon. On the actual global rank, it says that Cresselia came first as most used, then Metagross in second, Tyranitar in third, fourth was Rotom as a whole, and most people used it as wash form. Fifth was Hitmontop, I'm not surprised at that. Sixth was Thundurus, and I'm guessing it was mostly the incarnate form rather than the variant. And Politoed was 7th. 8th was Latios. 9th Hydreigon, and 10th was Gastrodon, which is not surprising because I don't really think many people use Gastrodon online. As for me, I faced Hydreigon the most with 19.5%, then Hitmontop and Cresselia with 11.4%. Tyranitar and Garchomp had both 10.3%. I'm surprised Garchomp wasn't actually in the top 10, because I faced a whole lot of it. Rotom, I faced 9.2%, which isn't so bad. Conkeldurr was 8.7% I faced. I'm not surprised at that being my team, as Conkeldurr weak like crazy. Heatran, Metagross, Kingdra and Politoed all had 8%. And I'm guessing Politoed and Kingdra together, you're mostly going to see. You see Politoed, you're probably going to see Kingdra, if they're on the same team. Latios, Scizor, and both Thundurus, and the Togekiss, all 6.8. So Togekiss, I mostly faced Japanese players using Togekiss, using Follow Me, and all that, and the air slash flinching, which really did. The air slash flinch did me on the last day with a guy a Korean who had just over 1900 points, and he sent me careering back down past the 1800 mark, which if I had 1800 plus, which I did have a few times in the tournament, I would probably be a lot higher than I am now in this international challenge for January. And obviously I faced Gastrodon 2.3%, which makes you wonder why it came 10th. Now I know a few people that I've actually played in this tournament, and the teams were not containing many of these that finished in the top 10 or finished I faced most. Which, you know, it's good because it's a worldwide game. You know, even if I am playing mostly Japanese, it's a good learning experience because I want to make sure that it's 8 CP plus maybe 4 CP or 12 CP. I'm hoping these championship points will not just prove to be there just to say, oh look, I've got 12 CP, which is not going anywhere, it's not going to help me in any shape or form. I'm hoping it's going to be there, and any more CP that I might get from now until it matters, I'm hoping it's there to say, right, through some miracle I got to top 8 again in the UK, and then I do what I couldn't do last year and make it to top 4. If I face someone who has a very low amount of CP, I might risk it and let them win so they can qualify for Worlds, and hopefully I can qualify for Worlds unless people go to multiple nationals and get a good amount of points. Speaking of which, people who are going to more than one national, i.e. they go to the English one, they get some CP. They go to German, they go to Italian, they go to Spanish, they go to the French, if all of them are doing their regionals again. I'm going to go on paper now and say that I'm going to make sure that people who are going to multiple VGCs are not going to get many points. So if I know people who are going to more than one, I'm going to scout them out, and I'm going to make sure they don't make the top 32. I'm going to try and eliminate as soon as possible, because if I get eliminated by them, then they're probably deserved to go through. But I beat them, make sure they don't get many points, then they won't be able to qualify for money, which is a good thing. I don't want to see Europeans going because they have more money. I want to see the best of the best going through in the Europes. So I'm just going to make sure, I'm going on paper now saying that it's an ambition I want to make sure it happens. And speaking of the English VGC, I think that this year is going to be very, very competitive, and I just hope that I can maintain a good record there. Last year I got top 8, beating a few good players along the way, and I'm hoping this year we see an English player actually lifting the first place trophy. And who knows, maybe I might do well, maybe I might go to Worlds finally, which is a good ambition for me to have, because I have a good idea of what to use there, because me, Baz Anderson and Ben Kiriakou all been training together, and I know that I think Ben knows about my special Pokemon, and I think Baz knows about it as well. It's a great idea which I don't think anyone's actually considered yet, and it's something I want to put into place and try and use at Worlds if I even get that far. Right, this has been me talking about the 2012 VGC Winter Battle and the 2013 International Challenge, which took part in January, and obviously the upcoming VGCs. This is me, NidoRich. It's me signing off for now, and I hope you enjoyed this first episode of, well, blog or whatever.